So I got back from uni not that long ago, hence why I'm still in my jacket. I've been waiting for this because every time I try and film, it's like destabilizing, so now it's stabled on like my brain. There's no video like officially this week. I know it was supposed to be the episode 2 of a Random Glow Up series, which was all about self-esteem, which is ironic considering how I feel today after today's events. Essentially, sometimes it feels like going to uni, being in uni, feels like I'm constantly getting kicked in the head. Every time I try and show any work off, or be like, look, guys, I improved the logo. It's just, we don't like it, kick. From multiple different angles. And what's worse is when I've finally thought that I've got to a point where I'm stable with it and I'm able to progress finally and move on with it. Because, you know, we're in March now and I graduate in May and I have so much to do that it's then when it gets ridiculed, and that's the biggest kick in the head. And that's essentially what happened today. Because stuff's been approved for so long, and as I say, I have so much to do, and I also want to prepare, like, I want to keep making YouTube videos, and I want to do my Redbubble shop. I never talked about that before, but I'm trying to upload more stuff to Redbubble, because it generates a bit of money here and there, and I want it to generate more. And I'm trying to think of my life outside uni as well, like post-university. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on outside education and money-making stuff. You know, personal life stuff. And I think that as I say, that's why it hurts more, because I don't even know how to put it into words properly, consistently. I mean, this is more of a video diary for me, whilst also being an update. I'd be like, hi, I'm not really uploading this week. It was already going to be a push for me to get that video out for the Glow Up series anyway, but now I'm just like, yeah, fuck it, you know, I'm not, I can't do it for this week. But that's not the point. I need to stop making excuses. Right. The point is, when I'm already trying to do all this mental health stuff and figure out what I like and how to, like, trying to rebuild myself from all the stuff that's happened since I've been at university, and trying to build myself back up from that, whilst also having to create something that represents me as a designer with my personal logo, and also trying to find that motivation for my final major project again that I was so passionate about, but with all the shit that that passion's been kind of knocked out of me, because I'm trying to grip onto what little bits of self-esteem and self-belief and self-confidence and motivation for anything I have left. I am slipping away. Just as I was trying to get back to myself and feeling good that I was getting back to the stuff that I genuinely feel passionate about, and I thought that I was getting somewhere. And as I say, it's just constant kicks in the head And here's the thing, I know people, they don't mean for it to be hurtful or upsetting, but it is, because they don't say it at the time. I mean, maybe they do, but then it's brought up again, and I don't have time. We don't have time. We graduate in the middle of May, and it's March. We can't waste time. I've got too much to do. And this is the thing, this is something that one of the tutors said to me as she was walking up with me back to get my stuff, is that this is what the industry's like. And I have to ask myself, why is it like this? Why do we have to silence people's artistic voices or people's personality for the sake of being employable? It's a creative industry. We should embrace people's creativity, whether it communicates it shouldn't matter as to whether someone's logo communicates them as a designer. It should communicate them as a person and be a good first impression for the person that they're going to meet at an interview. And they should embrace the creativity behind it. But that's apparently not how that works. Or at least that's what I'm being told. And I didn't know this. All I was told before is that my personal logo looked, I don't know, like children's entertainer, children's illustrator. I mean, I do draw, I do art. I'm not an illustrator, otherwise I would have been doing the illustration course, not the graphic design course. But it baffles me. And as well, it's just me. Why is it just me? This is realising now how much of a rant this is. And there are people from my class who are going to see this, but I needed to get this out here because it sucks. And it shouldn't be the case. It baffles me. But this has been the case the entire semester so far, is that it's my work that's getting ridiculed. And here's another thing. I was looking back at one of my sketchbooks. We have like this big A3 one, and it has quite a lot of the stuff that I did in first year before the pandemic, and even like right as the pandemic hit. And I was getting some spare pieces of paper out because I was doing some painting and I needed to protect the floor. And I looked back and I hadn't seen it in months. I hadn't seen it since like 2020, and it honestly was like a reminder of how creative and how much more confident in my abilities and how not brainwashed I was, and how much more free I was in my imagination and my thinking, and how much more excited I was about designing stuff that I was back then. Because I'm looking at stuff and I remember drawing the stuff, and I remember getting excited about like the ideas that I was coming up with, but now that's gone because of the pandemic and everything that happened in lockdown in 2020, end of 2020, and 2021 was a good year, but you know, I have to say that last year was a lot better than 2020, just personally for me, but still, I was still battling a lot of mental demons, and some personal stuff did go down. And somewhere in there, especially with the with the pandemic and everything intensifying and all the stuff, I mean, I keep up with politics, if you guys don't know. I'm quite avid in terms of keeping up with what's going on in the world, and that was my priority. I think my priorities shifted, but they had to because of the world that was going around, and I you know, you start to realise and come to terms with what you find most important. I mean, that's a whole other rant. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. I just realised I was going down a rabbit hole that was completely just not appropriate. But I just wanted to make this video, as I say, as a notification for you that this is what's going on in my head, and hence why there won't be a video this week, but also as a video for me to document this moment, because I don't know what's going to happen in the future now. I don't know. I am going to have to push through this. I'm not going to drop out of uni. This is not one of those videos, but I'm going to have to push through. But I am nervous after last semester going so shit, and I didn't realise it was going to go so shit. I'm conscious of not doing the same again, but I'm scared of doing the same again because of how the little work that I've done so far has been perceived. And as I say, we have got so far to go in such short time that, and as I said over and over when they were saying, you know, you can change your personal logo, I was like, I do not have the time. It's too late in the game. And they were like, oh, it takes 2 seconds. I have got a website, load of videos to make, I've got written content to do, I've got advertising campaigns to do for my final major project, which if I get any passion and motivation back for, I will be very glad to share with you guys, because it is a business prospect. I say it's an initiative at the moment, but it's something that I think is going to help a lot of people. And I think now is one of those moments where it's like, yeah, this is why I am doing that initiative, because people do need to know that it's going to be shit. Going through university is not going to be sunshine and rainbows. But, you know, as I say, the next video will be about self-esteem. It is going to be the second episode of the of random glow up series, and perhaps this is going to help, but I just want you to know that sometimes you're going to feel like you're in a stable position and then you're going to get kicked in the head, as I say. I've said plenty of times. But yeah, I will try and hold on to what bits of self-esteem that I can, and as I say, next week's video we're going to try and work on that. But when you're already struggling, something like this and going through this kind of experience is not what you need. And perhaps I should have expressed that more, but I wasn't expecting to, as I say, be constantly kicked in the head. And that is honestly the best way I can describe it. And as I said, they don't mean to. By tutors and peers and whatever, they don't mean to, but they do. It's how I feel. My feelings are valid, I know that, and I just need to get the fuck over myself, I suppose, but yeah. See you guys in the next one.